Welcome to the Healing Workshop. Today's session will be on non-dual meditation. This is mindful exposure to the present. We will also use deep breathing to initiate the meditation because it addresses the affective state and helps us at a very organic level to enter the meditative placement of attention quickly, easily, when we are well oxygenated. Deep breathing is indispensable in the meditative contemplative practices, in the non-dual meditative practices. Though meditation is not necessarily deep breathing, because of its deliberate way it's done, breath is very critical. You'll find the breath increases its size when we meditate by itself. So let us think about non-duality, because we get a concept of non-duality. It helps to point to trigger the necessary adjustment in consciousness to modulate into the meditative placement of attention. So I recruit the lucid dreaming metaphor. The lucid dreaming metaphor helps us to understand non-duality. And what it is that when we're dreaming, there is a subject, and of course the dreamscape, the circumstance in the dream. Then when you become lucid, you recognize that the perceiver and also the dreamscape, the object of perception, are all one and the same, the dreamer. And that is non-dual. You are neither the perceiver nor the object of perception. You recognize yourself to be a transcendent dreamer. So that is the non-dual perspective. It is very, this is a pointer, and non-duality cannot be organized. In other words, awareness cannot be conceptualized. It always, we can talk about it, but awareness itself is what supports duality and, of course, non-duality. And it is that nothingness that is the infinite being that all of us are. There is at the core of our being an absolute, not dual, an absolute. So something that is absolute is like a mark on a board. A mark on the board. Get rid of the board, and you have no duality. So non-duality is a no-thing perspective. And it's going to take a little bit of chewing over to organize and reorganize this conversation. Okay, well, what we're going to do is 3 large breaths. Then we're going to modulate. Come to our senses and modulate. Coming to our senses is letting go of the conceptual editorial that is occurring so automatically all the time. Opinions and measuring and all the things that the mind does. We simply turn the volume way down on that, and we abide in awareness, allowing life to be life, God to be God, if you will, and allow the flow of life to occur even though it incorporates us. It is a trusting act. It's an act that requires trust. And I assure you, nature is well. And when we allow ourselves to commune with and as nature, there are benefits that are possible for us because of the regulation of the vital substances. There tends to be a letting go of obstructions So too in the body of our affairs. The obstructions are reduced, and we flow more in our life, and and we are operating always as cosmic events, folks. We are cosmic events besides a personal event. In other words, your desire to take a deep breath, the deliberate deep breath, is as much a cosmic event as lightning or rain. Even personalizing itself is an impersonal cosmic event. When we see from the perspective of nature itself, the inclusive being that we are. Okay, well, discussions of non-duality are very important. The practice is also the critical factor. So let's recall that. Let's begin with an expulsion with an H sound, taking the air out of our lower stomach. Take a look at it. Then we breathe in, filling up fully, 98%. Hold the breath. And then again, let the air out through the throat. We're also funneling air in through the nose. Okay, let's 3 breaths, and then I'll assist you in guiding you into the meditative placement of non-dual attention. Let's begin with the expulsion. Hold the breath. All out. Relax. We're doing it again. Get all the air out first. Breathing. Hold. And now, let's come to our senses. Listen to your environment closely. Suspending judgments, self-talk. And you'll notice that you come closer to all your senses now. It is as it is. Letting go. provides for non-dual communion. Allowing. Relaxing and including. Adjusting. Accepting. Wanting for nothing. And let's debrief. So the first 3 breaths are very large. We learn to breathe more effectively by practicing. And it's like a child learning to hold your breath. It's a wonderful, wonderful practice to do in our maturity. We take a very, very large inhalation and hold it, and then breathe out all the air from our stomachs. And before we inhale again. It provides remarkable development and health benefits, a remarkable practice. I encourage everyone to practice your deep breathing. If you are in any kind of contemplative discipline, again, it targets the affective states, and very often affects trigger thought content. So we can move right into that, changing our affective state and supporting our capacity to modulate the shift into the meditative placement of attention, which is a lot of letting go. We let go of a lot of worries. We let go of ambition. We let go of opportunism. We let go of the idea that this is happening to me. We become inclusive of the entirety of existence. How do we do that? By relaxing, letting go, allowing. That's how it's done. It's not the same thing as receiving a gift. It is the acceptance of the gift of life, the acceptance, the neutrality involved with accepting this level of opulence and also difficulty. It's a remarkable practice that provides for our maturation. Meditative placement of attention. Thank you so much for your participation. We look forward to the next video. Tune in. We'll be talking about mindful exposure to well-being. And in that practice, we will be engaging issues that we have and then modulating. And it's a very important understanding about operating mentally. Thanks for tuning in.